My mom said I was too independent. I learned that from her leaving. She said it like it was a bad thing, like being able to take care of myself was some kind of flaw. But I didn't learn independence from wanting it. I learned it from not having a choice. I was 12 when my mom packed her things into a single suitcase and said she needed space. I didn't understand it then. I thought she meant space like a short vacation, a few days, maybe a week. But weeks became months, and months became years. The space she asked for turned into a silence I had to grow up inside of. At first, I kept her room exactly how she left it. Pillows still shaped the way her head used to rest. Her perfume bottle sat half full on the dresser. I'd spray it sometimes before bed, just to remember what she smelled like. Vanilla and laundry soap, the scent of comfort. But the older I got, the more that scent faded, and the more I stopped waiting for her to walk through the door. I learned how to cook eggs by watching YouTube videos. I learned how to braid my own hair in the bathroom mirror before school. I signed my own report cards, paid bills when my dad forgot, held myself together when fights broke out between him and his new girlfriend. Nobody taught me how to survive, but I learned anyway, because I had to. When Mom finally came back, I was 17, taller, quieter. She showed up at my graduation with a camera and a nervous smile, acting like nothing had happened. "You've changed," she said, as if she didn't expect me to. "You're so independent now." I wanted to tell her that independence isn't something you brag about when you force someone to earn it, that every time she didn't call, I learned to trust myself a little more, because there was no one else left to trust. But I didn't say anything. I just smiled for the photo. Later that night, she asked if I could spend the weekend at her new place. "We can catch up," she said, like old times. But there were no old times left. The old times were gone the day she left, and the person who waited for her disappeared with them. Still, I went. Maybe part of me needed to see if she'd really changed, but walking into her apartment felt like walking into a stranger's life. The walls were filled with pictures of her and her boyfriend. Her fridge was covered with magnets from trips I never took. I wasn't angry, just numb. At dinner, she reached across the table and said, "I'm proud of how strong you are. You don't need anyone now." And that's when it hit me. The thing she was proud of was the very thing she created. The version of me who learned how to survive without her. The version who didn't cry when she left this time. She hugged me at the door and whispered, "You've always been too independent." I smiled back, but inside I thought, "No, Mom, I just learned what happens when the person you depend on walks away." After that weekend, she called a few times, left voicemails about missing me, asked if we could do lunch, but I never returned them. Not out of hate, out of exhaustion. Every conversation felt like reopening a wound that never healed. She wanted a daughter to love, but she forgot she was the one who taught me love comes with distance and expiration. I got into college that fall, packed my things quietly, the way she once did. Dad barely noticed when I left. I didn't leave because I wanted space. I left because I wanted peace. In my dorm, I decorated the walls with fairy lights and cheap posters. For the first time, my space was my own. No yelling, no waiting for someone to come back. Every little thing I did for myself felt like proof that I'd survived the absence she left behind. Sometimes I still wonder if she ever feels guilty, if she realizes that her leaving shaped every part of who I became. Because every time someone calls me strong, I smile politely. But inside, I remember being 12, holding a frying pan over the stove, teaching myself not to burn the eggs because no one else was there to do it for me.